G'day and welcome to today's model workshop. Now I wanted to talk about mixing drinking with scale modelling. A couple of weeks ago while I was still building the seahorse I made a quick video and it's all cute and it's funny and I had a couple of drinks and I'm going to play that for you now. So here it is. Hello and welcome to today's model workshop. Today the topic I want to discuss with you is, do you ever model after you've had a few too many drinks? Because tonight I have had a lovely dinner with my partner and I've had maybe 4, maybe 5 glasses of wine. That's terrible. And so I'm a bit squiffy and I really want to get stuck in and do some modelling on the seahorse. So just earlier today I airbrushed inside the deck area here. And apologies in advance if the camera work is a bit wobbly tonight. So yeah, I've just airbrushed in here and it's ready for chipping. So there's a hairspray layer, there's an undercoat of rust, there's a hairspray layer, and then I've done the white coat on the top. And I really want to get stuck in and use some water in this guy and start chipping. But I'm also not quite squiffy enough to realise that would be probably a really bad idea, that I'd stuff things up and just wouldn't do as good a job as normal. Now, what I'm interested in is, do you guys do the same? I love, there's nothing better than on a winter's night sitting up here in the workshop and modelling with a glass of whiskey next to me. I love it, it's brilliant. But there's a certain point where you cross a line and I think you wouldn't do as good a job as if you were stone cold sober. And yeah, I'm intrigued as to whether other people do that as well. Look at this messy desk, my God, it's terrible. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts on whether you model after a few drinks, and if so, does it work out for you? Is there like a sweet spot where 2 or 3 drinks in and you're more creative and you're more versatile and you're sort of less nervous, particularly things like cutting with a scalpel when I'm cutting styrene. At the best of times that's a little bit frustrating and a little bit nerve-wracking, but after a drink or two, inhibition's out the door and all systems go. So is there a sweet spot where you can have a couple of drinks and do really good modelling and come up with creative new ways and new solutions, or is it just a bad idea full stop because you've had a couple of drinks and you think everything's easy and then you just stuff it up? I'd be very interested to hear your thoughts. I know a lot of my audience tend to not approve of drinks. Well, at least I think some of you do. I don't know, maybe you're all as much of a lush as I am. But yeah, I'd be very interested to hear your thoughts. I certainly love a drink. I try and have 3 or 4 alcohol-free nights a week, and then the other nights I tend to overcompensate, if I'm being honest. And the temptation is really strong to get stuck in and really do some interesting modelling and get creative, and I just know from experience that I'll balls it up. So that's where I'm at. It's perhaps not my more lucid video this week, but I am very interested to hear your thoughts because, is it just me, or do the rest of you really like to have a grown-up drink, grown-up beverage, and get stuck in with your immature hobby, like I do? Anyway, please chime in the comments below. I'd really love to hear from you. And apologies if this is boring. I'm going to check this out in 24 hours time when I wake up and see if it's actually of interest. And if it's not, if it's just the ramblings of a drunken idiot, then I won't load it to YouTube. But if there's a kernel of interest in it, then I might even do so and just see what you guys have to say. It's about 12 days to the big model exposition here in Australia, in Melbourne, and I'm getting close. I think I'm going to make my deadline, but I'm just not sure. So that's another reason why I want to get stuck in tonight, even though I know that it would be a very, very bad idea. I'll just do a little quick turnaround while I'm chatting, because otherwise this is a bit of a visually boring video. Check out that wobble. Look at it go. So look, I hope I haven't offended anyone. I know some people tend to be a little bit drink is the devil's juice. But for the rest of us, it's a great part of being a grown-up. and why not combine it with your hobby, apart from the fact that accuracy and ability go out the bloody window. Okay guys, I'm going to call it a day here. If you haven't considered already, please do think about joining up my mod squad on Patreon. You get 10% off at a range of really cool modelers discounts. I'd like to say hello to Smitty here. He's my most vocal Patreon at the moment. He really chimes in every single week, and I love him. He's the best. But yeah, it's really worthwhile. It's not just give me some money because I think I'm deserving. I'd like to get some value for you guys as well. So if you haven't already, please check out the link. I'll put it in here, and have a think about it. It's good, and that's the best I can come up with after 4 glasses of wine. But yeah, that's the seahorse. That's the top that I really want to get stuck into. Look at that. Look at that hatch. That's just asking for chipping. But I'm going to say no tonight. Be strong, Dave, and leave it till tomorrow. But I really want to. Alright guys, this has been Dave from Dave's Model Workshop, signing off with my "Do you model when squiffy?" question. I look forward to reading the answers below. Cheers. Bye. So that's the video I recorded a couple of weeks ago. Now at the time, I thought it was funny, perhaps a tiny bit unprofessional, but hey, am I professional? No one pays me, so I don't think so. Anyway, all well and good, and I thought it was just kind of a fun topic. And then last night, I decided to try and spray paint the red helmet of my driver of my Sand Scorcher, which is coming along, as you can see. And we'd been to the pub for dinner, my family. I'd had 2 pints of beer, then I had 1 more little glass of wine when we got home, and then at about 9:30 at night, freezing cold winter's night, I thought I'm going to go outside and airbrush this red, because I don't want to wait another day. So I went out in the cold, airbrushed. Probably not my best move to begin with. It was bloody cold. The paint went on really thickly, etc. Not the best, but it was looking good. And then it got to the end, and I was just starting to clean up, and I'm going to show you. Let's try and catch these delightful grinds right here. 1, 2, and another big ding just here. How did I do that, you ask? Well, I'd had a couple of drinks. Imagine this is the end of my airbrush. This is the bit where the spray comes out. I was, fixing it up, turned my head away, and I managed to grind, grind. Oh, what did I just do? Grind. So this is it dried 24 hours later. I'm trying to achieve this really beautiful, perfect effect on this helmet. It's going to be really glossy. It's going to get a gloss coat, and I've just gone and stuffed it through a little bit of. I wasn't drunk. I didn't, I wouldn't have driven anywhere, but I wasn't drunk. But just a little bit of clumsiness, and it made me rethink. I thought, well, maybe it is time to show that video again. Well, not time to show that video. I was kind of waiting for the right time to show it, and then I thought it's not quite as simple as I thought. The moment you start getting one of these babies involved, it's a bit silly, and that makes me sound really wowzer, because I love a drink, and I love having a glass of whiskey on a windy cold night and sitting up in my studio here in my workshop and building a model. It's the best. But I think there's a certain point, and I also find there are times when a drink or two helps creativity as well, but there must be a certain point, and obviously for me it's 2 pints of strong beer and a glass of wine later, where you get a little sloppy, perhaps, a little less in control, and that's when this sort of thing becomes a bit of a liability. Anyway, I don't know what the answer is. I'm still curious to hear what you guys think about, do you ever really want to model when you're drunk? Because I do all the time when I've had a drink or two. It's like, that'd be the best. It's not the best. Yeah, I feel really wowzerish, because, normally I'm the first to say booze is a wonderful, wonderful thing. I don't know what the answer is, but anyway, it's a discussion. I thought I'd start it, because, we're grown-ups. Well, a lot of us are grown-ups. For any of you young kids out there, don't drink. But for any of you who are of legal age in your particular area, it's wonderful. Booze is a great thing. Booze and modelling, I don't know that they mix past a certain point. And I am a grown-up, and I'm still to find that point. God. I'm a grown-up. I'm in my mid-40s, and I still don't know that point. Alright guys, I'm going to sign off here, but I hope this is of interest. If you have thoughts, I'd love to read them below. Please chime in. And if you're a teetotaler, then I hope I haven't offended you, but I do like a drink, it's lovely. Okay, I'll leave it there guys, because I could just ramble on like this for a long time. But yeah, the sand scorch is coming along, so now I'm going to have to take this with bloody sandpaper and do it all again, and I'm really dirty about that. Really, really annoyed with myself. So now I know 2 pints and a glass of wine is not the time to go out the back and airbrush late at night. Alright guys, chat to you next time. This is Dave signing off.